So we'll start on our backs in constructive rest, or really just on your back. If you don't like constructive rest, any position on your back or in a sort of more restful position, whatever feels really nice to your body, just take a second to find your way there. And then once you've found your way down to the ground, just give a little time. Give your body a moment to kind of work out all those little wiggles. Make sure your back feels like it's in a nice, comfortable position. Legs feel like they're supporting each other, or at least feel supported. And then once you've kind of got your way down to the ground and things feel like they're sort of finding that settling in sensation, take a nice, big, generous breath and just let your belly fill up. And then as you exhale, just let your body kind of sink and settle into the ground. And then see if you can do that again. Take a nice big breath, fill up your belly, your lungs, your chest, that whole torso just fills up. And then as you exhale, let your torso soften and settle into the ground. Take one more big, generous breath here. Nice. And then make sure everything feels like it's in a good position. If you need to reposition anything, take a second to do that. And then we'll bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, and then just with a little bit more focus or concentration on your breath. So start with just taking what you consider a natural inhalation. Slow your exhale down. And now as you breathe in this time, think about your space of your ribs and see if you can feel the sensation of breath coming front to back and side to side. So think of it as a four-dimensional breath. Fill your rib cage up, front to back, side to side. And then exhale nice and slow. And then see if you can do that again, finding that front to back and side to side sensation. Fill up with air. Exhale nice and slow. And then on this last inhalation, think front to back, side to side. So fill your lungs up with air, but then retain the breath at the top just for a moment. And then when you feel ready, slowly exhale, let all that air go. Nice. And then before we move away from this place of stillness, just take a moment here to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. And then with that intention set, bring your arms into goalpost or cactus arms. So arms in that 90-degree bend, palms facing up, elbows in line with the shoulders. And then once you've got your arms in that position, give a little time to let your elbows get heavy, your fingers get soft, and start to turn your head gently side to side. And then notice how your shoulders, your upper body feels here with your arms in this cactus goalpost position. So if you need to readjust your elbows or your hands so that everything feels like it's really nice and you can rest your arms heavily into the ground, make the readjustments that you need. But then once you've got your arms in place, just keep that head turning side to side. Awesome. Now, the next time your head turns to the right, let it turn just as far as it goes. Pause there for a moment. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale as your head turns to center, and then exhale, turn your head to the left. Turn it as far as it naturally goes. Pause there for a moment. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Head is going to come back to center. Arms are going to stay in that goalpost position. And now it's going to be a tiny nod of the head up and down. So with this tiny nod of the head up and down, it's not going to be a big grand amount of movement, but the head is connected to the ground. So you're going to feel a little bit of the trapping of the connective tissue and skin and even your hair connected to the ground. So as you gently nod your head up and down, you're actually moving the connective tissue and the skin and the muscles, but it just might feel very small and very subtle. Take one more nod of your head up and down, and then let your head find a neutral position. Let your backs of your ribs soften into the earth. Bring your arms into I Dream of Jeannie arms or into that square across the chest, and then start to gently pull the elbows side to side. Take one more pull, the elbows side to side, and then we're going to release the elbows, let your arms come out. Think anatomical position, but maybe just a little bit further out. We just want to leave a little space, and now we're going to bring it into some windshield wipers with the knees. Start small with your windshield wiper, so give a little time to let your hips find a little warmth, find a little gumminess. And then as you do this work here, kind of tune in and notice, how do your hips feel? How do your knees feel? How do your feet and ankles feel? And how does your low back feel? If you haven't gotten there yet, see if you can start to increase that range of motion just a little bit. And then the next time your knees drop over to the right, let them sink all the way down or just down as far as they naturally go. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale, knees to center. Exhale, knees over to the left. Let them sink down as far as they naturally go. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale, knees back to center. And now walk the feet in a little bit closer. So feet about hip width distance apart, heels a little closer to the butt. Bring your hands down alongside your hips and then just give a second, rearrange everything. Make sure your tailbone feels good, shoulder blades are happy, and then move into pelvic tilt. Exhale, press your low back into the ground. Inhale, release to the natural curve of your back. Exhale, press your low back down. Inhale, release to the natural curve of your back. Do that one more time. Exhale, press your low back down. Inhale to release. And now we're going to move into some rolling bridges. So we're going to start with a super low bridge. So curl the tailbone up just slightly. So maybe you could slide one hand underneath your tailbone and then release your butt back down. Pull your knees up into your chest. Give yourself a light, gentle squeeze. Release your feet back down to the ground, hands down alongside the hips. Inhale, lift your hips up, maybe coming up just a little bit higher. So maybe you could slide two hands underneath your tailbone and then soften your tailbone down. Pull your knees up to your chest. Give a light, gentle squeeze. Release your feet down to the ground, hands alongside the hips. Inhale, lift your tailbone up. So now coming up a little higher. So maybe you could slide three hands underneath your bum. And then exhale, roll on down. Pull your knees up to your chest. Give yourself a light little squeeze. Feet down, hands down alongside the hips. Inhale, lift your hips up, coming a little higher. So maybe about 4 hands high. Exhale, roll down through your spine. Pull your knees up into your chest. Give a light little squeeze. And then we're going to do that just one more time. Feet down, hands alongside the hips. Inhale, lift up. Come up nice and high this time. And then exhale, roll down through the spine. Once your hips touch down, pull your knees into your chest. A light squeeze, and then take your knees and just rock them a little side to side. One more light rock side to side, and then take your knees and draw them in circles, go in one direction. Take your knees and draw them in circles, go the other way. Awesome, and then we're gonna move right into wind relieving pose. So right knee is gonna come into the chest, left leg is gonna extend out, but let the heel hover. Inhale as you switch, exhale as you squeeze the knee into the chest. Inhale as you switch, exhale to squeeze. Inhale to switch, exhale to squeeze. One more time on each side. Inhale as you switch, exhale to squeeze. Inhale, switch, exhale, squeeze. and then pull both knees back into the chest for one light squeeze, and then take it into legs up the wall. So we're going to send the legs up towards the ceiling, but keep a super generous bend in the knees. So no yanking against the backs of the legs. Tailbone is nice and heavy into the ground. Feet are soft. And then just let your arms come back to a comfortable position. We're going to take about 3 to 5 breaths here with very little effort. So if you can, relax your feet. Legs are heavy. Tailbone is soft. Belly is soft. Come back to your breath awareness. Take a nice, deep, generous inhale. Nice, slow exhale. Big, deep breath in. Slow but natural exhale. So no need to force the air out, but just let the air come out nice and slow. Take one more breath. And then looking up at your feet, you're just going to start to give your toes a little wiggle. So just a little bit of organic movement, wiggle your toes, maybe crunch them up, spread them out, maybe move your feet a little bit, move your ankles, make some circles, any little bit of organic movement here that feels nice, and just kind of tune in, notice your feet. Take one more moment to wiggle the feet around, and then keep your left leg still and stationary, and just give your right leg a shake. So keeping that left leg up in the air, even though your right leg is doing the efforting and the shaking, you might notice a little bit of shake that just extends its way over into that left leg as your whole body vibrates. Take one more shake of that right leg, and then right leg is going to come to stillness and left leg is going to shake. And then notice again. So you might notice a little bit of movement and vibration in the right leg, even though your left leg is doing the efforting. Take one more shake of that left leg, and then we're going to crisscross the legs. Reach your hands around, see if you can catch holds of the tops of the feet, and then take yourself into a little gentle rock side to side. One more little rock side to side, and then we're going to start to roll tailbone to top of head. So we're going to catch a little momentum. Take your time, no need to rush. Take a couple of rocks, tailbone to top of head, just to work the length of the spine. And then once you feel ready and catch a little momentum, come up to an easy seated position. So legs in that crisscross pattern, find that nice tall lifted spine. Right hand's going to touch down, left hand's going to reach up. Take a gentle side bend. Beautiful. Lift back up. Left hand touches down, right hand reaches up, side bend the other way. Awesome. And then we're going to come back over to that right side. So right hand's going to touch down, left hand's going to reach up. Find that gentle side bend, and now we're going to round and reach forward. So we're going to keep the sits bones anchored, but reach like you're reaching like a 45 angle across the room. Take a nice big breath. And then when you're ready, pull that thumb back, find that side bend again, look up towards the ceiling, and then release your side bend over to the other side. So left hand touches down, right hand reaches up. Find your side bend first. Keep your sits bones anchored, and then round and reach like you're reaching across the room. So hopefully here you're finding a little sensation down into that low back side body area. Take a nice big breath. Pull that top thumb back, gaze up towards the sky. Take a nice big breath here. And then lift back up. Both hands are going to swim behind the back. So nice tall fingers, squeeze between the shoulder blades, lift the chest, lift your chin, take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then release your hands, catch hold of your knees, move it into a seated cat-cow. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale, round your back, round your shoulders, tuck chin to chest. Beautiful. Inhale to lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale to round your back. One more time here. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. Awesome. And then inhale to a neutral spine. We're going to lean back into the sits bones, swing your legs out, but legs are going to be wide. So think shoulder width distance, maybe even closer to the outer edges of your mat. Super generous bend to the knees. And now think belly up and over. So we're going to lift the belly, lift the chest, let your belly and chest rest against your thighs. Maybe you catch hold of your toes or your shins of the floor, just whatever handhold works good for you. But now tune back into your low back area. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. 2 more cycles of breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly and mindfully walk yourself back up and in. We're going to spin the legs around, find our way into a tabletop position or come onto all fours. So as you take your time coming into all fours, just check in. How are your knees feeling? Do you want a little cushion for your knees or double stack your mat? And if so, take a second to do that. And then once you feel like you're in a good position with that tabletop, we're going to right away curl both sets of toes under, draw your butt gently back toward your heels, take it nice and easy, and then bring yourself forward, shoulders back in line with the wrists. Keep the toes curled under, pull your butt back toward your heels, come forward, shoulders come back in line with the wrists. One more just like that, pull your butt back toward your heels, come forward, release your toes, move right into puppy pose. So we're going to keep the hips in line with the knees, toes are released, walk your hands to the top edge of your mat, let your chest and your forehead melt down, take 3 nice big breaths here. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, walk your hands back up and in. Now we're going to take it into our lion's breath. So we're going to bring big toes together. Knees are going to come to the outer edges of your mat. Pull your butt back towards your heels. But now we're going to step the hands in a little bit closer, keeping an upright lifted position with the chest. If you can, pick your hands up, swing the fingers around. So fingertips are going to point in towards the inner thighs and then replant your palms onto the ground. Now from there, you might lift your butt slightly away from your heels just so you get that nice little stretch in the wrists. Once you feel like you're there, squeeze between the shoulder blades, lift the chest, take an inhale, and then as you exhale, you're going to stick out your tongue, look to your third eye, and make a little noise. So take a nice big inhale, exhale, and let it all out. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, let it all go. One more breath here. Big inhale. Exhale, let it all go. Nice. And then when you're ready, lift your butt up away from your heels, step your hands forward. We're going to keep that wide position with the legs. So swing your toes out so that they meet the knees. And then left hand's going to walk underneath the nose. Right hand's going to reach up and just reach up to the sky. Look to the sky. Take a nice big breath. When you're ready, release that hand down underneath your nose and we'll switch to the other side. Left hand's going to reach up nice and high. Awesome. Release that hand down. And now both hands are going to step out super wide. So hands to the outer edges of your mat, knees out to the outer edges of your mat. Curl your toes under. Exhale up to a nice wide downward facing dog. Let your chest get nice and heavy toward your thighs. Take one good breath here. And then when you're ready, soften your knees, look forward. We're going to walk the feet up to meet the hands, come to a nice ragdoll fold at the top of your mat. So feet about hip or shoulder distance apart, super generous bend in your knees, let your belly and chest rest on your thighs. If it feels good to do so, grab hold of your elbows and then just let gravity do a little work for you here. Let your spine dangle, let your head hang nice and heavy. If you've caught hold of the elbows and it feels nice to do so, maybe invite a gentle sway into your body. Just rock a little side to side. Awesome. Take one more gentle rock side to side. And then as you come back to center, release your fingertips to the ground. We're going to take 3 half forward folds here. Inhale, slide your hands up to your shins, lengthen through your spine. So you find that nice strong back. Beautiful. Exhale, soften down. Bend your knees, fingertips find the floor. Inhale to half forward fold, hands glide up to the shins. Beautiful. Exhale to soften back down. One more time, just like that. Inhale, find that half forward fold, hands find the shins. Exhale, soften all the way down, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, strong from your navel center, roll up to a standing position. Take your time and then roll your shoulders up to your ears, around, down, and back. And we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, around, down, and back. One more time through. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, around, down, and back. And now we're going to take the left hand, reach behind and see if you can catch hold of your right elbow pit. So we're going to reach across the back of the body. And then once you feel like you've got a good hand hold of that elbow pit, just line your spine up so it feels fairly straight, shoulders soften down, and then drop your right ear over to your shoulder. So you're holding onto your right elbow pit, right ear drops over to the shoulder. So we've just created a little bit of length through the side of the neck and the shoulder. Once you've got your ear over to the shoulder, take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. One more breath. Bring your head up to a neutral position, release your hold from your elbow pit, and we'll switch to the other side. So right hand's gonna reach behind, catch hold of the left elbow pit if you can, or just get a little bit of a reach across so that we create that space in the side of the neck and the shoulder. Once you feel like you're there, left ear drops over to the left shoulder. Take one more breath. Awesome. Head returns to center. Release your hold of the elbow pit. Shake everything out that you need to. And then find mountain pose at the top of the mat. Toes and knees pointing fairly forward. A nice lift up through the top of your head, shoulders dropping down away from your ears. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step the right leg back into a runner's lunge. So we're going to keep the back knee lifted, heart lifted, look forward, take one good breath, and then right away, bring your hands down, step your front foot back, gently bring the knees down, lower with a bit of control onto your belly. 3 low cobras here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. One more time here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, lower down. Keep your heart in that low position. Bend your knees, swish your heels a little side to side, just a light massage to the quads and a little soothing to the low back. One more swish of the heels side to side. And then as your toes release to the ground, push your way up into a tabletop position and then all the way back to child's pose. So big toes together, knees together, pull your butt back to your heels, but a little reach through the arms, a little energy down into the fingertips. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale up to a tabletop position. Walk your knees out so that they're in line with the hips. And then we're going to take 3 circles of the ribs in one direction and then 3 circles the other way. So inhale, drop your belly down, pull your ribs over to one side, round up through the back, draw the ribs over to the left, and then circle around. Take 2 more in this direction. Beautiful. And then take your circles and go the other way. Nice. And then as you come back to center, neutral spine, curl your toes under, exhale up to downward facing dog, maybe take a pedal or 2 of your legs. And then when you feel ready, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a nice folded ragdoll at the top of the mat. So soft knees, soft through the back of the body. Take one good breath there. Bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, strong from your navel center, roll all the way up. 3 rolls of the shoulders around, down, and back, just lifting them up to the ears and circling them around. Awesome. And then find your mountain pose again. Anchor into your feet, reach up through the top of your head. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back into that runner's lunge. So keep the heel lifted, keep the knee lifted, heart forward, look forward, take one good breath. Beautiful. Plant your palms, step the front foot back, and then right away, bring it down to your belly with some gentle control. So lower with control. Once you're there, 3 low cobras. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, lift your heart up. Think about drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Exhale to lower down. Beautiful. One more time here. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower down, push your way up through a tabletop and then all the way back to your child's pose. Big toes together, knees together, butt comes all the way back to the heels, but a little reach through the fingers. Nice. On your next inhale, come up to your table, 3 circles of the ribs in each direction. Drop your belly down, pull the ribs over to one side, circle around, smooth those circles out. And then when you're ready, reverse directions, go the other way. As you come back to center into that neutral spine, curl your toes under. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Take a pedal or 2 of each leg. And then when you're ready, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to that ragdoll fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll on up to a standing position. 3 big rolls of the shoulders up to the ears, around, down, and back. Lovely. And then we're going to take that light little pat, pat. So we're going to have that open palm situation, and we're going to pat, 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 pat down the outsides of the legs, across the tops of the feet, up the insides of the legs. So the belly, give the belly a little rub, and then right back to it. Pat, pat down the outsides of the legs, across the tops of the feet, up the insides of the legs. So your belly, give your belly a little rub. Nice. One more time, just like that. Pat, pat down the outsides of the legs, across the tops of the feet, up the insides of the legs. So the belly, give it a little rub. Nice. And then let your hands come down at your sides, and then just for a moment, tune back in and notice. Notice your feet connected to the floor. Maybe even notice that little lighting up or that little bit of energy that happened where you stimulated and patted your legs. Take one more breath. When you're ready, eyes open. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold, knees bent or straight, totally up to you. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step both feet back to downward facing dog. Pick up your heels, lower your knees, come into a tabletop position. We're going to take it into a crooked tabletop. So left elbow and forearm are going to come down to the ground, but right arm is going to stay straight with the shoulder slightly lifted. Now pick that right leg up, and now we're going to let the hip roll open. So we're going to let that right knee lift, and then the right foot is going to fall over to the left. So we create a little bit of length and stretch through the front of that right hip pocket area. Take one good breath there. Beautiful. And then release that leg down with control, switch to the other side. So left hand steps up, right elbow and forearm touch down, find your crooked table first, lift your left leg up, and then let the hip roll open. Let the foot fall behind you. Finding that bit of space through the front of the left hip pocket area. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Beautiful. Release that leg down, and we're going to take it into extended child's pose. So big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat. Pull your butt back to your heels, and then invite some softness in here. So make some space so your belly, your chest, and your forehead can soften down, and take 3 nice big breaths. On your next inhale, start to lift yourself on up. We're going to lift the butt away from the heels, and then just spin your legs out to one side so that you can sit back on your butt. We're going to take it into a wide leg fold. So legs are going to come out to a nice wide position, but it should feel like a comfortable position. So once you feel like there's any tug or engagement of the inner thighs, there you are. Stop there. Pinky toes are going to draw back actively. And now we're going to take left elbow to the inside of the inner thigh. So we're going to put the elbow to the inside of the inner thigh and then use that for a little bit of leverage. So push the elbow into the inner thigh so the bottom ribs draw forward. Once you've got that bit of leverage, reach your top hand up, reaching towards your toes, but it does not matter if you touch your toes. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. One more breath. Lift up with a bit of control, and we're going to take it to the other side. So right elbow is going to come to the inner thigh, wedge against that inner thigh. Don't injure yourself, but use it for just that little bit of leverage so the bottom ribs pull forward. Top hand reaches up, and we're reaching towards the toes, but it never matters if you touch the toes. Take one more breath. Lift up with a bit of control. Now we're going to take it into a fold. So keeping those pinky toes pulling backwards just slightly. So we want to keep the inner thighs engaged. Walk yourself forward just to a depth that feels good. So once you feel sensation, maybe inner thigh, groin, or you might even feel sensation in the backs of the legs. Once you feel sensation in your body, stop there. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. One more breath. And then when you're ready, walk yourself back in nice and slow and controlled. Grab the backs of the knees, help bend those knees and bring them in. And then we're going to find our way down to the ground. So slowly, gently, mindfully roll your way back down to the ground. And then once you found your way down, just give everything a second. Make sure you're closing your hairs in a comfortable position. And then we're going to move right into a supine twist. So right knee is going to pull in towards the chest. Left leg is going to go nice and long. Take that right knee over and across the body. Let your right arm open out nice and wide. Take 3 big breaths here. On your next inhale, pull the right knee in towards your chest. Take the knee, draw it in circles, go in one direction. Take that knee, draw it in circles, go the other way. And then when you're ready, let that come to stillness. Pull the left knee into meet. So both knees into the chest. Hold on to your left knee. Let your right leg go nice and long. Supine twist to the other side. Take the left knee over to the right across the body. Let your left arm open wide and then come back to your breath. 3 nice big inhales here. Awesome. When you're ready, pull that left knee back into the chest with a loose handhold. Take that knee, draw it in a couple circles, go in one direction. And then draw that knee in circles, go the other way. Nice. And then pull the right knee into meet. So both knees are going to hug into the chest, but we're going to just get a little strength here. So push your knees into your hands. Hands are going to resist. You're going to feel your low back fire up a little bit, your quadricep muscles fire up a little bit. Notice the strength in your arms. Notice the strength in your legs. Take one more moment. And then when you're ready, soften, release, gently draw the knees into your chest, and then set your feet down and pause for a moment. Ask your body, where would be your best Shavasana? Would it feel good to come to constructive rest, which can be nice and supportive to the low back? Do you want like a little bit more action? Maybe take it into a reclined cobbler's pose, or maybe find that more traditional shape. Whichever route you choose, make sure it feels like a nice, comfortable position. And then especially if you're in a colder room or a colder climate, maybe take a second to put your socks on or put a blanket on. Make sure you stay cozy in your restful position. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Gently wake up your fingers and wake up your toes. Maybe invite some bigger movements into your wrists and your ankles. Slowly start to find that gentle movement that reawakens your body. Maybe turn your head, maybe move your knees, move your hips. And if you've got a lot of props involved, if you've got pillows and blankets, just take a second to kind of scooch them out of the way. And then once you feel like you're ready, find that big good morning stretch. Legs long, arms up and overhead. Reach through your fingers, reach through your toes. Take a nice big breath back into your body. And then in your own way, at your own pace, start to find your way up to a comfortable seated position. So you might choose to rock and roll up or roll to one side, whatever gets you there, but feels nice and comfortable. Nice. And then once you've found your way up to your comfortable position, we're going to take left hand and reach across to the right side of the neck. So it's just going to be a gentle but firm handhold. So you're pushing the hand slightly in, and you just want to feel a little bit of that, the warmth of your skin, that connective point there right at your hand. And then with that light but gentle, light handhold, but with a little bit of pressure on, start to just turn your head side to side, just to the point where the range of motion feels good. So if you feel like it's catching your skin too much, only move to a point that feels nice. We've got a bunch of nerve endings at the vagus nerve that all around the neck. So we're just kind of soothing and toning that space. Take one more turn of the head side to side. And then as your head comes back to center, release your hand and switch over to the other side. So hand is going to reach across, get that nice gentle handhold. And once you feel like you're there, come back to that turning of the head side to side. Stay with a safe range of motion so that you're not pinching or hurting the skin. Awesome. One more turn of the head side to side, and then head comes to center, release your hand, and then with your light piano fingers, just a little something for the immune system. So some light taps up and down the chest. If you like, now close your eyes down and just kind of tune in. Notice that little bit of vibration that's created by that tapping of the fingers. Take one more gentle tap up and down, and then lightly stack your hands on top of your heart. Bow your head to your heart. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and the time that you take to take care of yourself. And breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. And then when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Saturday. You guys are amazing.